Good morning. If you folks can take your seats, that would be great. And encourage people to come on in. Jeez. Wow. Yesterday, speaking for myself, yesterday was amazing, and I'm looking forward to an amazing day today as well. We had close to 800 people here in person yesterday, which is just terrific. Online, we had over 1,700 folks, so thank you all for being here, whether in person or via the web, and participating and just contributing. This is what really makes the community thrive, and it's what has made the Brain Initiative so amazing over the last 10 years. I think some of you just came in from the poster sessions, and that's terrific. Please also remember we have a lot of great exhibitors around the place, not only on this floor, but also downstairs, so make sure that you see them as well during the lunch hour. Let's see. Yesterday we had the Scholar Spotlight Award, so please also be sure to check out their posters as well as all the others there as well. So yesterday we started out with our plenary lecture by Dr. Li-Chun Lo, and it really didn't disappoint. If you're like me, it was both humbling and inspiring to hear not just one, but three amazing stories that he and his group have been pursuing on understanding the network of serotonin neurons in the mouse brain and how they underlie behavior. And I can't even begin to summarize. There was just so much there, but just really thank Dr. Lo for an inspiring talk. And we had a lot of great discussions as well during and including the concurrent symposia session. So I wish I could have been in multiple places at once, but I couldn't. But again, the good news is that whatever session you missed, you can actually view online once they're posted online on the recorded videocast. So in one session, we had a topic of high density and high resolution neurophysiology to reveal local microcircuits in the human brain. And it really just looked at the cutting edge research that's being done in human neuroscience research opportunities in humans that's driven not only by technology, but by great ideas, conceptual ideas, questions that needed to be answered and areas that needed to be explored. We also had a session on imaging outside the toolbox, really amazing imaging technologies for doing large scale and deep tissue imaging. And then we had a really cool session as well on music in the brain, music building bridges in the brain that looks at the interaction of our brains and how they've evolved to interact with what we call music and how this might be better understood to lead to some non-invasive techniques for treating various brain disorders. And then finally, we had a really cool session on advancing participant engagement in brain-computer interface research, who, why, and how. And one thing that we've kind of learned over the years in the Brain Initiative is the critical importance of the voices and the experiences of those who are giving of themselves in this critical research, the human subject participants themselves. And they really, in the words of Jen French, who was a part of that session, people living with the conditions that we are trying to treat really are the experts, and it really does pay to pay attention to the experts. So that was all great, and then yesterday afternoon, evening, we had this Brain at 10 panel together with Drs. Francis Collins, Corey Bargman, Bill Newsom, Caroline Montojo, and Eddie Chang. And I hope you agree that it was a stimulating conversation, not only looking back at the origins of the Brain Initiative and how far we've come, but really a look toward the future. One thing that I didn't get a chance to mention is part of the origin story before things were launched at the NIH was this idea that was percolating around by a few folks and was discussed at a little summit in the UK. And some of the movers and shakers behind this effort were Dr. Myung Chun, who was then at the Kavli Foundation, Dr. Rafa Yusta at Columbia, and also Dr. Tom Khalil, who was at the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, who kind of really drove this thing. And as the NIH got involved and took leadership, it really took its own form. So really just a big shout out to the folks who made this happen. Again, we've had great support from Congress, from both houses of Congress, from both parties. And we saw this really nice video that Representative Earl Blumenauer sent to us. He's one of the co-chairs of the Congressional Neuroscience Caucus, together with Representative Morgan Luttrell from the Houston area. So we really are very grateful to all their support. So as we reflect back on how far we've come, our origins, how much further we have to go, I just want to reflect on what tomorrow is, Juneteenth, which commemorates the the freeing of the slaves in this country. And I think it's a good opportunity for us to think about how far we've come as a nation, as a society, and how much further we have to go to address the social inequities that have been building in our society. And if nothing else from yesterday's panel discussion, I hope we can all think about the role that neuroscience does play in society in making this world a better place. Okay, so cool part of the program is revealing the winners of the Brain Photo and Video Contest. So a little bit of eye candy for us all. Maybe. So we had some really great entries, very, very difficult to choose from, but we had a voting process for this. So the first place is from Zhongyue Chang from Purdue University for this beautiful image that shows whole cortex scale in vivo 2-photon imaging with single cell resolution in mice. And these are just shows that art and science indeed kind of go together so beautifully. Second place is Chaos Circuitry from Yusha Sun from the University of Pennsylvania. I think you can agree these are all very striking images. And third place, Willow on the Island of Calleja from Lee Voss and Maria Galazzo from Tulane University. So you can feast your eyes on these. I think this will be up on the website, and if you come to SFN, you can pick up our brain calendar, and these photos will be featured as well. And we also had the video contest winners. First place is exploring the 3D nano architecture of neuronal membranes at dendritic spines by labeling of channel rhodopsin 2 from Haocheng Gao from Purdue University. I think you can agree that these are really amazing. Okay, it keeps going. Okay. And then second place from Dr. Tanya Daigle from the Allen Institute for Brain Science, spinal motor neurons illuminated by enhancer AAV. Truly beautiful. When the Brain Initiative started, it was limited to the neck up. And in response to many folks pointing out quite rightly that, there's more to the nervous system than just from the neck up. And also, as we heard yesterday, a bit about the interactions with the rest of the body. I think this really captures the essence of that thought. And then finally, third place for neuronal fireworks, when the salamander sniffs, from Lu Shu, Wenzi Li, Eliza Yeager, and Elizabeth Hillman, and Maria Tosches from Columbia University using this really cool scape microscopy. So this is your brain on smells, or salamander's brain on smells. And then finally, we have, since we are celebrating 10 years of the Brain Initiative, we also included some special categories for Brain at 10. So we have one winner each in the category. This is decoding depression. This is from doctors Chris Rosell and Helen Mayberg and their colleagues. And this depicts the networks that they've identified that they can target to alleviate the symptoms, will actually alleviate severe depression in their patients. So really kind of beautifully shows how far we have come as a field in such an artistic way. And then finally, from Tyler Sloan, this video showing cortical density of this Golgi stain. Okay. So, congratulations to all the winners. And we really appreciate your artistic endeavors for showing the true beauty of the brain.